so excited to have you here, Ronit. Welcome. So this is
Thank
Ronit
you
with
for having me.
Arilan Skincare, correct?
Yes.
I pronounced it properly.
Say it again.
Arilan Skincare, I pronounced it
Yes, you
properly.
said that right. Perfect.
Awesome. So tell me about yourself. Like how did you get into skincare?
How did I get into skincare? Well, I started as an architect many, many years ago in
Woo!
Israel. And while I was going to school, I was freelancing for department stores, over summer break. To earn a couple dollars. And I just find out that I really love skincare and love touching people's faces. And I decided to. I actually worked as an architect, but not for so long. And then I immigrated here from Israel to United States. And my first job here was with Estee Lauder and at one of the department stores. And I was so excited because I was kind of doing what I always wanted to do, that I found out that I have the passion to it back then. So I started working for Estee Lauder, and then I moved on to Neiman Marcus. I worked for La Prairie Cosmetics, and I became like one of the account coordinators. And then once we had an event, and our counter manager, she booked like 10 facials each day, and we were supposed to have a big sale, successful event. And what the esthetician that we booked just called in sick the same morning. And it was really, really stressful for us because we had to show the numbers to New York, to the executive offices there. And I told the counter manager, well, we have to go and do those facials. And she's like, I don't know how to do facials. I'm like, neither do I, but we have to do this.
You're
So we went
kidding.
in. Yeah, it was like, I mean, we started by breaking the law. And then, so we did those facials and they wanted to rebook with us. I'm like, oh my God, seriously? They want to rebook with us. And I just felt like I really, really enjoyed doing this. And I started traveling with La Prairie Cosmetics and doing facials in all the stores that they had at Neiman Marcus and Saks and Nordstrom's. And then I decided to go to school and become licensed esthetician. And I started with dermatologists in Santa Monica for a couple of years. And then I went on my own.
Nice.
This
So
is
I
how
mean,
it started. It started as an architect.
I don't even like I get it, you immigrated over to the US and then you have to get, a job when you get to like,
Yes.
the US, but the fact that that job meant more to you and was more connected to your heart than like this, people dream of being architects and you're like, "No, I like this more." That's pretty awesome.
I love being an architect, but I like the
Okay.
skincare industry more. So I still love the design and I like the creativity, but I like the hands-on and I love creams. I love moisturizers. I was always afraid of aging. Since I was like 15, 16, I used to always use my mom's creams, the Pond that she used to use back then. So
Really?
in Nivea and Pond, that's what they used. And I just loved, I was always like amazed by skincare. So I'm glad I finally figure out that this is what I want to do, and I'm happy ever since.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, obviously, you were working for all these big brands, and all of that makes sense. But you have a brand now that's vegan and is sustainable and is ethically made, and all of the ingredients are, very natural. So, can you tell us about that and how that ended up happening?
Yes, actually, it's something that I always wanted to do. I still work, and also worked in the past with many, many skincare brand in my skincare studio in Beverly Hills. And I always looked for something that I couldn't find in every brand. It's cruelty-free, vegan, and paraben-free. It had to pass the California standards also as far as toxicity. And it was hard to find something that has everything in one line. I also believe in gentle exfoliation and super hydration.
Yeah.
So I decided to create my line with a mild glycolic peel that people can use at home, and also to hydrate the skin with a lot of hyaluronic acid. Um, and also the cruelty-free and vegan, it's important to me in personal matter. I grew up in a farm in Israel. My dad was a farmer, and we grew up with a lot of chickens and rabbits and dogs and cats and sheep and cows and horses. And my mom is a huge animal lover. I mean, she fed all the stray cats in the neighborhood. I mean, she have like probably 40, 50 cats that she feeds every day. So this is why I could not allow my brand to be tested on animals. And it is important to me. And I actually been contacted by distributors from China who wanted to carry Arilan products there. And it's a huge account that I had to say no, because it's more than money. It is important to me more than money, because when I spoke to Lipin Bunny representative, and she said that everything that is entering their country in China have to go through animal testing. So I had to turn that down. So
Wow.
yeah, so it is important. And when you see other brands that they said they're cruelty free and vegan, but they sell in China, that means that it's really not cruelty free. So that breaks my heart.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, the non-toxicity thing, how come that was so important to you? Like, tell me about like not having, sulfates and like all those other parabens and those kind of things in your products. So
Because
sulfates wouldn't apply because that's for hair care. So parabens, sorry.
yeah, fair, but I'm like sulfate. Yeah. um, uh, well, I've lost a sister for cancer, unfortunately, 14 years ago, younger sister. And when she got sick, I asked myself, why people get sick? I wanted to know why people get sick. So back then we didn't have the internet that is very, um, not exposed to internet as we do
Yeah,
now. I
my
mean,
dad
15
calls
years
it
ago, it
Google
wasn't like
Baba.
that.
My dad at home, he calls it Google Baba. He'll be like, "Ask Google Baba," and Google Baba basically means like,
Baba Google, yeah.
yeah, Baba Google. So it basically means like Uncle Google or like Grandpa Google type of a thing. So
Yeah,
whenever we have a
but
question,
back
it
then we
makes
went
sense.
to the library and we had encyclopedias and we
Yeah,
had to read books. So I had to go to the library and get all the books that I could find. And I studied about why people get disease and why they get sick. And I realized that our environment is very toxic. The first thing I got rid of is my microwave. So, and everyone that comes to my house and said, want to heat up something, oh, you don't have microwave. I'm like, no, I don't. How can you live
yeah.
without it? I'm like, I can. So, this is
Toaster too.
why.
You shouldn't keep the toaster plugged in. You know that,
Exactly.
right? Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Also, why to eat ready added food, right?
yeah.
That's dumb. So I just decided I went, I was guided by those books. And then I find out someone told me about someone who I really, really admire. And I follow his newsletter, Dr. Joseph Mercola. And
Oh,
I received his newsletter. They're free, and every day he sent those newsletters that are very informative. And I just start cleaning up my house from shampoos and detergent and everything around the house that I saw. I'm like, oh my God, it's toxic. And I did not know. I had to put filters in my shower heads and all that stuff. So this is why it is important to me, because I lost a sister, and it made me, unfortunately, it made me aware to how toxic ingredients are harmful to us and the environment.
For sure. For me too. Like I got really, really sick and, I lost my sense of smell for 5 years. Then one of
Wow.
my family members got really sick too. So it's unfortunately it's like when health is impacted,
Yeah.
especially human health is impacted,
Yes,
that's when we become more aware, right?
of course.
Yeah, better to get on it now than have to deal with it later.
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
so like when did it start? Like how did it all start? Was it she got sick and then you went, I should create a line
Oh,
that's
no, 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 no.
oh,
I was not thinking about the line at all. I was an esthetician. I had my own studio in Beverly Hills and I had two kids. My kids were little back then. When I lost my sister, my little was a baby. He was 9 months old. So, and I had also 3 years old. So I was such a busy mom. I had no, there is no way I would be able to create my skincare brand. But as I was working and my kids start growing, and I was, I had those skincare brand like my collection at my office. I didn't have everything from each line. I had some product from each line because I did not like everything in their line. So that's why I decided to create my own line that I would like everything in this line. And it also can be combined with others. You can add on to, they can add other products from different brand to it. Um, Sorry, I'm going to go back um, to the your questions.
yeah.
Why, how it happened, right? That was the question.
Yeah, how and also when? Because it was
When it
recently that you
happened,
created it,
yeah,
right? How old
it,
are your
it
kids now?
started 5 years ago. Five
Oh,
years
okay.
ago, I started to look into it, and because I was a mom and a businesswoman, and I did not have the time to do what I wanted to do. So I started looking for a lab and searching, and I found this great lab in Atlanta and a great chemist that we started to work together and creating this line. So everything started like about 5 years ago, and beginning of this year, it was finally ready, and we didn't really officially launch yet. We didn't do any launch party or anything, but we are getting there. We are already online, and we have a few stores who are carrying our products, like small unique boutiques in Santa Barbara in North California, and a couple estheticians in Texas. So we're just started, and it feels like we're growing and we're in the right path.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I still remember how we met was just because of like a TV show I happened to be working on and just like immediately talking to you and learning about what you create really meshed with my values and it just like felt so right. And when I started to create my brand, I was like, "Oh my God, I think Arilan skincare would be great for this."
Yeah,
So
you
that's
called for a
awesome.
facial, and I talked to you about my brand.
Yeah, I know. It was like the organic orange facial that you do at your
Yes,
boutique, right? Or your
yes,
it's technically called a spa. Do you have a
studio.
spa
Oh,
or
it's
you just have a
studio.
studio?
Yeah,
Cool. I mean, it's really, really amazing what you do. So you get, I
thank
guess we
you,
should just share this with people. So if you do go to Beverly Hills, if you
thank
go
you.
out to the 90210, she does this really cool thing where she'll get an organic orange, and you do the facial with the orange and you connect it to some sort of like an electric rod.
Yes, it's a
And
galvanic machine
okay.
that it helps. It helps the juice of the orange and all the vitamins for the orange penetrate to the skin with electricity. Because if you just rub it on, you might get some good nutrient to your skin, but not as you really force it into the skin.
Okay. Well, that's really, really cool too. I haven't done full research on it, but when you told me about it, I went, "Oh, that's so cool." And yeah, that might even work for my mobile app. I'll send you that information later. That's more for like location-based stuff, and the website is more for brands. But
I
yeah, we
like
might
that.
talk a little bit later. Yeah.
So
Thank you, internet. We lost each other for a second. I think it's because I'm out in the boonies this week, so the internet might be like that, but it says 5G. I don't know why it didn't work. So my question was, sorry, we know about like who you are, what you do, what your brand is, and then when you started. And we also know where you're based. You're based in Los Angeles in the 90210. So the question is like, what are your plans for future expansion for your brand?
Um, what we look at is growing into more individual stores, like small boutique, small spas, doctor's office. Um, I'm not looking into those big corporations like Sephora or Ultra at this point. I really want to do it with local accounts, like small accounts, with people who are trained how to sell the product and explain the product and introduce the product to their clients, and that try and love the products. Not, I don't want my product to sit on a shelf somewhere where no one tried it. Like if it would be at Air One or Whole Foods or Sephora, none of them try really the products, and they don't sell it properly because they're not trained on the product. When you don't use the product and you don't uh, learn about the product and the ingredients and what it does, it's hard to sell it.
Right.
So
So things like the mask, like if you leave it on your face too long, your skin could dry out. Things like that, right? Like when you
exactly.
actually have that experience and you use it, you're able to then communicate that to a client.
Exactly. I want that line to be sold properly. And this is why I rather focus more on small accounts for people that use the product and love the product and want to sell the product. So this is
Awesome.
how I'm planning to grow.
Full disclosure, I've tried the product and I love it because you sent me some stuff. And yeah, I thought it was really, really great.
Thank you.
I didn't just use it on my face. I used it on other parts of my body. I won't explain in full detail, but
Yes.
I really enjoyed it. Like, it's nice to just like get that boost when you need it in the right places.
Yes. And you said, I remember when we switched those emails between each other, you said that you have sensitive skin and you cannot have gluten or apples, right? Something.
Yeah, definitely allergic to tree nuts, and
Yes.
I'm sensitive to like FODMAP foods.
Yes.
And gluten's in there too. So yeah, it's tricky, but I let myself have whatever I want to have. Obviously not
Yes.
the things I'm definitely allergic to, but everything in moderation. And I figured out a way to make it flow with my body. And I think again, it just comes down to the environment has a big impact on our health. So
Definitely.
what we were able to do 20 years ago, the environment is a little bit riskier now, and our
Yes.
bodies are trying to adapt to it, and we have to relearn. So if we can't change the environment, we have to change the way we do things.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully now change the environment too, so it's back to, it gets regenerated and revitalized.
Yes.
And I feel like with an awakening and a social consciousness, we'll be able to get to that point.
Yes.
But and I'm trying to help in my own way of doing that. So let's
Yes.
see.
It's beautiful
You
what
too.
you do. I really respect and appreciate and admire what you do. That
Thank you.
it's sustainable product and you care. And I read your application that you sent me. You care about human rights. Sorry.
Yeah.
You care about human rights. You care about the environment and about animals. And it just definitely the values that I'm also sharing. So
Awesome. Yeah, and the impact on human health. And I want companies to do well. So socioeconomic advantage, all of
thank
that,
you.
right? We should be doing well. We just have to do it properly and ethically.
Exactly. Exactly.
Awesome. So we know why you do what you do, obviously, because you shared that story about your sister. So how can consumers buy your products and connect with your brand?
The products are sold on arilanskincare.com on our website and also at our studio in Beverly Hills. And we have a couple of stores in North California and a couple of estheticians in Texas. They can Google Arilan Skincare and see what comes up. And definitely, we're not on Amazon. We're not in big stores. So we are starting really, really with more direct contact with the clients with
Right.
small stores.
And the Shop with Them community obviously have a
Sorry, of
discount
course,
code.
absolutely.
Yeah. No. I'm not
Absolutely.
saying you
Shop
can
with
buy
them,
through
definitely.
can't buy through our website, but we have a discount code that we provide for the community so they
Yes,
can go directly through your website to buy the products. And at the moment, it's just available to US consumers, but you're hoping to branch off to like North America and the rest of the world as you progress, right?
yes. As we progress with the aid of Leaping Bunny, that is helping us and guiding us to do the right thing and to protect the animal rights.
Awesome. So that's it for our interview. Is there anything else you want to share with the Shop with Them community about your brand or just in general your values and your beliefs?
I'm very excited to work with Shop with M. I'm very honored to be on your website, and looking forward to work and grow together. And thank you for interviewing me, and thank you for your interest in our products.
Yeah, of course. The respect is mutual, obviously.
Thank
It's
you.
really beautiful what you've created.
Thank you.
And just so everybody else knows, I mean, Ronit shared with me earlier, there were a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that went into creating this brand
Oh, yes.
and the products.
Yes.
So it's not as easy as like, I want to do something. I'll just create this. No, like
No,
there's so much hard work that goes behind.
a lot of behind the scenes that is really, really, a lot of challenges behind the scenes, definitely.
For sure. But hopefully the community helps it grow.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time
you.
today.
Thank
All
you.
right. Bye.